We got the 5 and 10 brought to you by the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good 5 and 10. We're gonna keep it nice and crisp here. Topic number one: we talked a lot of football. We didn't get to talk about the Giants-Eagles game. Now I talked about. I thought it was a bad loss for the Eagles. I still think the Jets' loss was worse. I'm shocked at how well the Giants played. I mean, the Eagles didn't play great. I think they made some weird decisions. Going for it on fourth down when they were up by 2 points on like the 45-yard line, I thought was weird. There was a couple times I thought Vic could have run the ball. There was a clear pass for first downs, and he decided to try to force a throw. It was incomplete, and they were punting. And they made some very odd decisions they made throughout the game. But, I mean, you can't take anything. I mean, you know I'm not a huge Eli Manning fan.
Player of the week.
The guy was fantastic. The guy was absolutely fantastic, how well he played. 4 touchdowns. He came in, like we said before the season, if the Giants are going to be good, they're only going to go as far as Eli takes them this year. They can't rely on a great defense, can't rely on great offensive weapons. But look, he did it. People were talking about fantasy-wise, you got to add Victor Cruz. I didn't add him, but he went out and had 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. Exposed Nnamdi Asomugha. I mean, did you watch that game, or were you kind of flicking back and forth? I'm sure you're watching the other game. I had 2 TVs going, so we were watching both. So, but I mean, I was surprised. I don't get to see Nnamdi Asomugha because I never watch the Raiders because they're never really on TV. But he wasn't good at all. He doesn't make tackles, and he got just burnt by Victor Cruz.
I think he may have had a bad game because I've seen him. Now, granted, they don't throw the ball a lot to him, but he.
I'm not saying he's not an elite corner.
He's very good.
But I don't really remember games. I mean, I'm probably jinxing it, but I don't remember Revis games like that. Or a no-name guy puts...
Well, you know what?
Randy Moss had a big-time play. Not with a no-name guy putting up 100 yards on you, 2 touchdowns.
Victor Cruz, that's why he's always good in the preseason. He's just such a freak, like, athletically. Maybe sometimes they just look past it. Because I always wonder why...
Victor Cruz a freak athletically is a stretch. The guy's pretty good. He's not Megatron here.
No. I don't mean as a receiver. It just seems like he's so quick. I don't know what the deal is. Because I always wonder why guys like that have any
because he torched the Jets last year in the preseason. Maybe like 250 yards.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I don't know. He has a problem with drops.
The Eagles, why are they so bad on 3rd and short and 4th and short? Like, they're statistically the worst in football in the last 2 years. They have McCoy and Vic.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
That's amazing. I don't know.
I think they overthink it.
I agree with you. I was surprised. I think that is look, I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether I thought it was just a game to show that the Giants are for real and aren't going to be a 6-10, 7-19, which I kind of figured they would be, or if it's a bigger problem for the Eagles and them saying, like, look, the Eagles, clearly none of us bought into them being a dream team, but I mean they're going to be battling for a playoff spot. Let's be honest. They're going to be battling for a playoff spot.
I agree. One thing I just quickly about the Giants, I still think they're not going to be good until they figure out what to do with Bradshaw and Jacobs. I still think they just kind of like haphazardly do it until they get a set sort of plan with set roles. Sometimes they're going to have great games, and sometimes they're going to bump each other in the head, and nothing's going to happen.
I like more and more every week does JPP. He is so good, that guy. I mean, the Giants are amazing at just drafting linemen that just wind up doing good, and they talk about him being a project. I mean, he's already a stud in his second year. All right, let's shift over to baseball. Let's just focus our last 4 topics on baseball. Let's get into our Tri-State Sports Guys postseason awards. Who do you got MVP in each league?
I have Ellsbury.
Mm-hmm.
I just think even you watch him, even though the Red Sox are reeling, he's the only guy who's been showing up.
Yeah.
And then NL, I got to go Matt Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to pick Matt Kemp because his team's not good, but the guy doesn't get out. I'm actually surprised. I watch him a little more than most. I'm surprised he only hits 330. Because every time I see him, it seems like he's on base. I'm not joking.
It's a light hitting 330.
He does everything.
I mean, I actually have 2 different guys. But Matt Kemp, I mean, he's as close to getting the Triple Crown as you're going to see in a while. And people don't get that close. But I agree. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that could do it year in and year out. He's almost like a Sheffield, like when in Sheffield's prime. That's how I kind of compare him to. But he steals bases. He steals 40 bases. The guy, he's always had that athletic ability. He got Rihanna out of his hair, and now he's just unbelievable. My MVP in the National League, I went with Prince Fielder. You look at Prince Fielder, tied for the league lead in home runs. He's like a couple RBIs behind Kemp, and he's hitting 299. The reason I can't put Matt Kemp there is because, I mean, I like putting an MVP on a team that wins. And the Dodgers, if he was that valuable, the Dodgers would have been better. Now, granted, he did everything he could.
I just don't even know if he's the best hitter on his team, Prince Fielder.
No, I think
you can say that about Ellsbury too, but Ellsbury's a leadoff guy. But Ryan Braun is a
What I like about Prince Fielder is. I mean, he played in 162 games this year. He plays in every game. Last year, 162 games. The year before, 162.
And what does
games.
everybody say about him? That he's fat.
They talk about him being fat.
They say that he's fat.
He's the
Tom,
most
and he is
durable
fat.
first baseman in the league. They talk about him being.
The two fattest guys in baseball, him and CC Sabathia.
And
all those guys do is answer the bell.
That's all they do. I mean,
It's amazing.
Prince Fielder, and he seems to come up big when they need him. Like I mean,
That's very true.
I just seem to be. I think both those guys are great, but I think
Yep.
in a you ask any Brewers fan, gun to your head, who do you want up in a big spot? I think people want Prince
He's
Fielder.
gone.
In the American League, I got Curtis Granderson. I don't care about his average only being 265, faded down the stretch. The reason I can't give it to the Red Sox is they're going to have all these guys that are in the mix. They have Adrian Gonzalez. You can make a case Adrian Gonzalez had a better year than
He was my
Ellsbury.
preseason pick for the MVP.
And he put up MVP type numbers. But when you look at how bad they played down the stretch, and then you look at the Yankees, when the Yankees needed a star, when Cano wasn't really hitting, when Jeter was playing really bad, A-Rod was out, Teixeira's hitting 240. This guy went out, led the league in RBI, led the league. Well, I mean, he was one ahead of Cano in RBI, assuming he's going to be 1 or 2 in RBI. Led the league in runs by a lot, 41 home runs. The guy, he's only hitting 265, but his on-base percentage is up in like the 360s. I mean, the guy seems to do it all, and I think that he carried the Yankees when they needed him. And that's why I think I got him as my MVP. Rookie of the Year, who do you got in the National League and the American League?
National League. I got to come back in the National League. American League. I am going to take. Why don't you tell me who you got first?
I'm glad you did some prep for this segment. Thanks. You didn't see that email either? He glossed over the fact that we were going to do it.
That's all right. Go ahead.
American League, I went with Hosmer. I originally thought Hellickson, because you look at Hellickson and he seems to come up big. But Hosmer, he was the guy I would have said out of the two studs that they were bringing up this year, Moustakas and Hosmer. Everybody, I think Moustakas got a little more hype. Hosmer went out and batted 294, 18 home runs, 75 RBIs, and a season where he didn't get called up until May. Hellickson was very good. He's got a low ERA. He's 13-10. That's a great job in the American League. I think he's going to be a great starter. I got to give it to Hosmer. And in the National League, I think it's hands down Kimbrel. I mean, Kimbrel is arguably the best closer in the National League, one of the best as a rookie.
Well,
you do see that sometimes where a rookie will come on the scene, Neftali Feliz, guys like that come on and they do it. But this guy, I mean, he looks like a red-handed Billy Wagner to me. He's a short guy who just throws gas. He gets. I mean, there are times when you see him and you're like, nobody's gonna hit this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why I paused in the American League was my initial pick was Desmond Jennings, and then I realized he's probably like 0 for his last 30.
He's in 265.
Yeah, and
there's nothing he's done better than Hunt. I mean,
and he had been on fire,
Yeah.
and then and then they had gotten hot as a result, but now he's kind of so. I can't
Yeah,
really
you can't have
argue
a guy-
Hosmer.
yeah.
Now the thing about Kimbrel is I just have a hard time giving those types of awards. It goes back to the MVP and Verlander. I have a hard time giving those awards to pitchers he's not even a starter. Now I think he's got a better chance of the Cy Young, but he's not going to win that clearly.
Yeah.
because I think Kershaw's
so
the Cy Young.
who do you like in the National League? I mean, that's the thing. I agree with you to an extent, but I think
I
there's
guess
more
you're
better
probably
rookies
right.
in the
Yeah.
American League.
He's
You
not
had
a big
Dustin Ackley
guy.
had a good
You
year.
got D. Gordon, but he didn't play nearly enough.
Yeah, I didn't think he played enough. He had 290 something, but I don't think he played enough. I mean, he was
definitely didn't play enough.
a vital point, one of the
Yeah, you're
most
probably
valuable
right.
people on his
How about
team.
Freddie Freeman?
Freddie Freeman's another guy.
He got super hot.
He was and really
But Kimbrel's clearly more important on that team.
yeah. Who do you got for Cy Young in each league?
National League, you got to go Kershaw. Guy's got 21 wins.
Triple crown.
Yeah.
Won the baseball.
21 and 5, I think.
21 wins. He's leading the league in strikeouts, leading the league in ERA. I mean, I don't know how you don't give it to him. I think it's
And I mean, American League, it's Verlander.
We don't even do-
Verlander by a lot.
yeah. Verlander unanimous.
I think Kimbrel's going to be in the top 4 in that voting because I think they'll give Cliff Lee's going to get some and Halliday's going to get some, and I think you're going to see Kimbrel is going to sneak in there because he's going to get a lot of votes.
Yeah, and
He's
Ian
a
Kennedy's
stud.
going to get some votes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Kennedy, I feel bad saying this. It was a soft 20.
He was 7th in the league in strikeouts.
Yeah.
Soft 20.
Well,
7th in the league in strikeouts. Come on.
Nah, I know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, the guy was a stud.
You know what?
Because you don't believe in him. You didn't believe that he was going to be good to
I
be able
you
to
know,
do it
to
all
be
year.
honest, I still don't believe in him. You're probably right. Yeah.
Because you look at him, he goes 91, 92. He doesn't have,
But that's like, we talk about guys like Melky Cabrera. Melky Cabrera's got 200 hits.
yeah.
You believe in him? No, you still don't believe in him.
I don't believe in him.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Come on.
Both, by the way, both former Yankees.
Last one, coach of the year in each league. What do you think? Coach of the year is tough. I think in the National
it.
League,
Go ahead.
I went with Kirk Gibson.
That's all right.
Because I didn't believe in. I don't think any of us picked the
No.
Diamondbacks to be as good as they were.
No,
American League.
I mean you got to give it to Madden, right? Although they're, we'll talk about it. They're laying an egg right tonight. But,
You're gonna hate this.
oh my God, you're gonna say Joe Girardi.
Joe Girardi.
I can't think. What about Joe Girardi is good? The fact that he leaves Sabathia in for 30 pitches more.
The fact that this guy, the things that the Yankees overcame this year, and they have the best record in the league.
Look at his face.
They had to deal with all the Derek Jeter nonsense, where every press conference at the beginning of the season, all he had to talk about was that. Then he had to deal with the Jorge Posada handling that whole situation. Then he had to deal with the fact that the
Jorge Posada
eighth
situation
and
that
ninth-
he created.
his 7th and 8th inning guys both went down for extended. I mean, he lost his 7th inning guy job at Chamberlain for the year. His 8th inning guy is nothing like they thought he was going to be. And all he went out and did, he did it with no starting. I mean, pitchers that we still don't know who's going to start Game 3 for them. And he had the best record in the.
Because the Red Sox collapsed.
Listen, believe me, I don't think he's a good manager, but
God,
what
why
he
do
did
I
this
have to say
year.
That's awful.
What he did this year. Who do you got?
I mean, I would pick Joe Madden. Unfortunately, he's terrible today.
Yeah.
But the guy brought us in. No one thought the Diamondbacks would be any good. How would anyone think the Rays would have any shot of competing? Let
It's
alone bring
only
in
because the Red
Gillespie?
Sox collapsed. I mean, that's the only reason why they could have taken this. They did not play that outstanding. They had a decent last couple weeks, but it's not like they came out and played 700 baseball and came up and caught up on them. The Red Sox had the worst September in the history of the Red Sox franchise, so
give
they
the Rays-
collapsed.
Yeah.
So
I don't give it. I can't give it to Girardi.
all right,
Because to be honest, if the Red Sox didn't collapse, I would have given it to Francona.
all right, we got to speed things up a little bit. Topic number 3. It looks like right now, at the time we're filming, there's going to be one playing game tomorrow.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to be looking at the
Cardinals.
Braves, Cardinals. I mean, as a Met fan, you gotta love the Braves collapse. Does it kill you that the Mets are the reason that they are even still have a chance? The Mets, the one game the Mets ever do well, they're playing the Cardinals last
Down
week.
6-2.
Down 6-2 in the 9th inning, they put up a 6 spot against their
Well, that's
bullpen.
typical Mets.
And they
That's all right, though.
and so right now this would be a moot point because it looks like the Cardinals are going to win. The Cardinals would be in the playoffs, and the only reason the Braves have a shot is because of the stupid Mets. What do you think about the Braves collapse? People are all over the Red Sox. Maybe it's just because of where we live. The Braves collapse is just as bad.
Braves collapse is terrible. Cardinals win tomorrow. Put it in the books.
I hope so. I hope you're right. Well, let's talk about the Red Sox collapse quickly. It looks like right now the Yankees are way up on the Rays. Looks like the Red Sox are going to win their game. They're going to be in the playoffs. Now there was a lot of talk locally about how the Yankees handled this final series, not playing all their guys. Now,
Not playing all their guys.
I mean, today they're playing all
The
their
only guy they
guys.
didn't play was my boy.
They started Noesi yesterday, though.
Yeah, but all their offensive players. It's game 7-0, and all their offensive players are still in the game.
I completely agree with how they handled it.
The Yankees doing a great job today.
I think the way they did it, you want your guys to have you can have a day off tomorrow. You got to treat this game like it's a real game. You got to play. I like the way they did
And the
it.
Red Sox can only be mad at themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're lucky the Yankees played anybody today. They should have played all minor
But
leaguers.
watch playoff predictions quick. We're not going to get into. We just want to get in the first round.
Playoff positions, Red Sox winning the whole thing.
I think I think the Yankees are.
The Cardinals snuck it in 2006. I've seen it before. The Red Sox are winning the whole thing.
I think that all these Yankee fans were on Facebook talking so much trash about the Red Sox. You do not want to. I don't know why you'd want to tempt fate like that.
No, I
The
agree.
Red Sox can go out and win. I mean, they have the best offense in the American
I
League.
agree.
I
Completely.
mean, their starting pitching's not good, but they
I'll
can
have to
get
do
hot.
more research, but my initial thought, Red Sox winning the whole thing.
I'm glad you did so much research for this show. All right, that's our show for this week with the Tri-State Sports Guys. Check us out,
Go Bills.
TriStateSportsGuys.com. Check us out on the Facebook page.
No one circles the wagons better than the Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills, 3-0 Buffalo Bills. We'll never say that again in our lifetime.
Got it.
In our lifetime.
Have a good week, everybody.